Now, another topic that I didn't go into when we created the, and you can see this is how much the jetpack is awesome. The fuel, the packaged fuel. So, and not just package, it's packaged products. You can package water, oil, heavy oil residue, fuel, and biofuel. You can pack it and you can unpack it as well. And those processes mean that, for instance, at the site where we have the oil, instead of running a train line all the way, I could technically package the crude oil into packaged oil drums here, put that into say it could be vehicle transport, or it could run on a conveyor belt all the way across, and then unpack it again. And one of the reasons has to do with, apart from trains are good because trains get something from point A to point B. Trains use power. You could pipe something from point A to point B, but as your heights go over distances or in vertical, every 20 meters you need a pump that's going to cost 4 megawatts in power. So you could package by packaging it and running it on a conveyor belt. Conveyor belts require no power, but it requires the product of making the plastic containers, to store, using plastic to make the containers to store it. So that requires a refinery. Then there's a refinery required to package the product, and it's going to be multiple product refineries, because if we look here to package oil, it's 30 megawatts of 30 cubic meters of crude oil. So for a 300 pipes worth of crude oil coming out of a node, you need 10 of these refineries to do that. So that's 300 megawatts you've already consumed. Considering a train station is 50 megawatts, you need one at each end. That's 100 megawatts, and you need a liquid transport station at each end, liquid freight station at each end. There's another 50 megawatts only when unloading and unloading. So you're having 150 megawatts being used at any one time. So there's a real balance between, well, I could package it all, but the amount, and then you're going to have to unpackage it at the other end. So there's another 300 megawatts to do it at the other end. So while it might seem like, hey, I don't have to run a lot of pumps and pipes, and the pumps cost power, depends how high up you're going, you can do the packaged fuel. Everything has a positive and a negative, or a pro and a con. You have to balance out what you want to do there. It's certainly something that I like the easier options. I think the trains are great, and yeah, I think that personally, I do think the package process is excessive. However, and something that I'm not going to cover here, is the turbo fuel process. Turbo fuel process, there is a particular formula you follow, where you take a fuel and you package it and you unpackage it and you dilute it with water and so forth, and you end up making a lot more power out, or you can get an extreme amount of power out of just one oil node. But that is a very advanced topic that I am not going to get into in this tutorial, because it simply is that. It's an advanced topic. The tutorial here is simply to show people how everything works and just how to get things working for them on a basic setup. people are going to want to make things bigger and faster, and they're going to research it and find that information out. But for here, that's not the intent of the tutorial.